Good morning. Welcome to 365 Days of Richer Living, daily morning reading, meditation, and prayer time. I'm Reverend Ray Fellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living in Columbia, Maryland. Today is December 27th. Let's see. I affirm my own divinity. I affirm my own divinity. And the reference quote this morning comes from Thrice Greatest Hermes. Whatever then doth live oweth its immortality unto the mind, and most of all doth man, who is both recipient of God and co-essential with him. Thrice Greatest Hermes. So our reading begins. I accept a divine purpose for my life. Intelligence brought me forth at the right time to do a right work in these present days. It is my right generation, and around me are my own people. I do not regret the past, nor do I postpone the future. I see now as the only time, and this day as my only opportunity to release God into my world through right thinking and living. These present hours are my tools of divinity. My thinking is in accordance with the mind of God. My actions are in accordance with the divine plan of my life. I radiate love, live in peace, and think God's thoughts. I fulfill my destiny and be what God created me to be. As a spiritual being, I live with wisdom and in health. I know that life will use me for the good of all, and at the same time for the profit of my own ventures. My own good limits no one and makes me more able to help my fellow humans. I do a better job when I am thinking positively. I give greater love and affection to others as I see my own indwelling spirit in action. All my faculties are outlets for the divine who created me, and wonderful results appear right where I am. I am spirit and I am truth. My mind is a holy vessel for the transmission of God's ideas. My body glows with God's victorious life. My environment is pregnant with good, and love flows to me from all who I know. I sense my spiritual importance. I lose my false sense of human importance. Knowing my divinity, my human ego retires to its right functioning. My only boast is that God's mind now acts through me. This is true consecration to truth. Letting go of all material pettiness, I become the greatness of God. Releasing the untrue and unworthy, I accept ideas which transform me and all my affairs. I prosper as never before. I never again shall know illness or defeat. All that is nothing, for God in me is all in all. I have the victorious attitude, and I bring forth my demonstrations in order and ease. God made me, and I like its creation. So let's take that into our time of meditation and contemplation. So in this moment, I recognize one infinite, ever-present source, one infinite, ever-present substance, unnameable, immeasurable, limitless, changeless source. And yet we know it by many, many names. No one name can contain all that it is. It expresses in a multiplicity of form, and yet it never changes what it is. It simply changes how it expresses. It is self-existent, reminding me that it simply has always been, that it was made out of itself, that it is the sole activity of creation, the singular activity of creation. Whether it is the sun rising and setting, the wind blowing or being still, whether it is a warm summer day or the incomprehensibility of a winter blizzard. It is this one expressing itself in, through, and as its creation. And so if it is the source and substance of all things, then all is this one, contains this one, is the divine expressing as. So I recognize that I am now and have always been surrounded by and held within this enormous multiplicity of life, of expression. And just as any one individualized expression is a divine idea in the mind and imagination of this one self-existent being, I am that also. So in this moment, I breathe that in and allow myself to embrace and embody the enormity and the simplicity that I am a divine idea in the mind of God, that I am a smile in the heart of the divine to experience itself as my life, that I am a purposeful, intentional, one-of-a-kind, never to be repeated creation. This is the truth of my being. And so all that divinity is, all that God is, all that Buddha, Allah, Krishna, nature, mind, heart, soul, all that it all is in me, around me. It is the truth of my being. It is the truth of all being. It is the space that surrounds the form, and it is all form within the space. I am one, all expressions of the infinite, connected, inseparably connected. I remind myself that there is no way to disconnect. That yes, I can ignore my divine connection. I can pretend that it doesn't exist. I can run away mentally. I can create the pain of separation. And none of it will ever be true. It will simply be an experience of untruth. And so I speak my word this morning, declaring, affirming my recognition, my embrace, my embodiment of the source of my being as the source of my being, as the operation of my being, as the essence from which I live, move, and have my being. The I amness of the self, the divine self, that is the truth of my being. I celebrate living authentically. And I choose over and over again to recognize my wholeness. And as I recognize my wholeness, as I recognize my place within the whole, I recognize the whole. And I give thanks. I give thanks for those ancestors in this human realm that paved the way. I give thanks for the indigenous ones that refuse to be erased, that instill in me the courage to be visible, reminding me that creation is precious and valid and valuable, and no thing to be hidden. I speak a word of gratitude for all enslaved peoples, for the lesson that they bring to the whole of emancipation, of freedom that occurs in the mind long before it occurs in the physical realm. And so I claim that wisdom within me to free myself, to emancipate myself mentally from all habits, all thoughts, all beliefs that enslave me. Knowing that as I am enslaved, all of creation is enslaved to some degree. And so I choose the path of emancipation. I choose the path of awareness. I choose the path of doing the work to shift, to be free. I speak a word of gratitude for the ancestral wisdom of the people, the Jewish people, that teach us to live by law, that teach us ancient habits of success, that teach us discipline in this human realm from a place of connectedness with the divine. I speak a word of gratitude for all faith traditions, for all seekers, remembering that we are all seeking the same awareness, that awareness of our divinity. And as I know my divinity, I know the divinity of all. And so I celebrate that, and I surrender to it. And by surrender, I mean letting go. Letting go of all resistance, releasing my word, by releasing all the mental holds that I have against its fulfillment. I let go. And I imagine this incredible free fall, unguarded, unprotected, into the divine mystery. Unguarded because there is no thing to guard against, unprotected because there is no harm. I embrace, I embody, I celebrate the mystery. I allow myself to enjoy the journey, to marvel at how life unfolds itself when I get out of the way. So I let go. I let it be. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amin. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.